腹をくくったかい？ちょいと楽しませてもらうよ。
肥大マックスだ。
Hey everyone, it's Mark. This is my recap for Pokémon Journeys episode 82, Alcremie's Sweet Battle. This was the 1167th episode of the Pokemon anime, and wow, I had a lot of fun watching this episode. Sorry for this review being a little late, but, well, as I always like to say,
you can't rush genius.
Anyways, before we jump into this episode, I'm sure most of you saw the buzz about the special preview that dropped last Friday, and I did a full breakdown of it, talking about Cynthia's return, Ash getting Mega Evolution, and so much more. Be sure to check that video out if you haven't already, and let's dive into this episode. The episode starts at the Cerise lab, and someone is calling Ash. It's Opal, the Ballanlea gym leader, or as Ash and Go put it, the quiz lady. Of course, Opal never mentioned that she was a gym leader back in episode 55, but today she's hosting a tournament, and since she's heard Leon talking about Ash and Go, she decided to invite both of them. Ash is pretty fired up about this since he expects it to be a battle tournament. Of course, we all watched the preview for this episode that made it pretty clear that they would be decorating cakes, not battling. But Ash doesn't know that yet. Out of nowhere, Chloe announces that she wants to come too, which was certainly a surprise to me. Does this mean Chloe wants to see Ash battle, or is she interested in hanging out with some more Pokemon? Nope, actually she just wanted to try some cakes from this pastry shop in Ballanlea. Oh well, that was not what I was expecting. Can I really blame Chloe for wanting to eat some delicious desserts though? In the middle of this snack fest, a wild Milcery appears. Is it Milcery or Milcery? I always thought it was Milcery, but then I heard some people calling it Milcery, so now I'm confused. I was also a little confused at Go immediately asking if it wanted to be caught, to which Milcery agreed. Now, even a staunch Go defender like myself raised an eyebrow to this. Now wild Pokemon are just going up and asking to be caught by Go. I guess I just have to accept that Go has that special something, that he just has a way with Pokemon that not every trainer has. I mean, we saw a quick scene earlier in this episode of a ton of wild Pokemon getting close to Leon in the Glimwood Tangle, so I guess some trainers just have that effect on Pokemon. Okay, so Go gives his Milcery a strawberry from the cake that he was eating, and I guess this counts as a sweet, because Go stands up, spins counterclockwise with his Milcery for more than 5 seconds, and it starts to evolve. I only bring up those specifics because of how it relates to Milcery's evolution in the games. For those who don't know, after you give a Milcery a sweet, such as the strawberry sweet that Go gave his, then all you have to do in order to trigger its evolution is to spin around with it. Here's where it gets tricky though, because Alcremie has 9 different forms, and the one it evolves into is based on the direction and the duration of the spin, as well as the time of day. Now, since our heroes are in Ballanlea, we have absolutely no clue what the time of day was, but Go definitely spun counterclockwise for more than 5 seconds. Despite that, he ended up with what looks to be a vanilla cream Milcery. In other words, I have finally seen the light that the Go haters have been telling me all along. Go is a hacker and a cheater and really a terrible person overall. How could he get this form of Alcremie? Truly despicable behavior from Go. Okay, anyways, none of this is really important. I like it when the games and the anime share similar details, but I also don't care too much when the anime overlooks some game mechanics, including this evolution. Right, so Ash finally makes it to the Ballanlea gym. I know a lot of people have been waiting for Ash to go compete in a Galar gym, and well, this is as close as they're gonna get. Opal tells Chloe that the Galarian Rapidash and Ponyta from episode 55 are doing fine, which was a nice callback. Ash is fired up to see Leon, but he actually just runs into Raihan instead. Keep in mind that these two have never officially met, but Raihan does at least remember Ash from before, as well as having heard Leon talk about him too. That means both Raihan and Opal have heard about Ash from Leon, which is pretty cool to hear that Leon has taken such an interest in Ash. Ash. The rest of this episode really does a good job highlighting the various personalities of each of the characters present in this episode. Starting with Opal, she is such a weird mix of quirky, creepy, demanding, fun-loving. I mean, I could list a dozen adjectives and still not be able to sum up this absolute weirdo. She informs Go and Chloe that they will be competing in this tournament as well, and just her delivery of this sends chills down their spines, although I guess they would be pretty intimidated at the thought of battling Raihan or Leon. Speaking of which, Leon finally shows up and he asks Opal what she's got in store for them today. He explains to the others that Opal just makes up random tournaments from time to time, and somehow these 5 were the only ones who got roped into playing along this time. That doesn't fully explain why no one else is here, but whatever. The 6 characters that are present were the perfect mix for this episode. Opal introduces the Alcremie Everywhere Decor Tournament. Guess that means no battling today. Sorry, Ash. Instead, they will be teaming up with an Alcremie and decorating cakes. Raihan is already over this nonsense, but when he tries to make a run for it, Opal corners him, and when she brings up that Leon is eager to compete, Raihan totally changes his attitude and is ready to show that he's better than his rival. Now that all of the preparations are complete, we can finally get this intense competition underway, and the Alcremie helped make the cream for everyone, and I loved Raihan cheering for it as if it was in the middle of a gym battle. Really, everything in this scene was just completely ridiculous, in a good way of course. I thought this entire episode was full of funny, unexpected twists, and everyone is having a good time. Well, Pikachu doesn't really look like it's having a good time here. Pikachu, are you okay? Anyways, everyone finishes up their cake except for Go, since Grookey just ended up eating all of their cream. Ash, in classic Ash fashion, looks like he just threw everything he could think of on top of the cake, which gets some questioning looks from Go and Chloe, while their Pokemon just think Ash's attempt at decorating is downright laughable. How dare they? Opal goes around and evaluates everyone's cakes, and let's just skip over what she has to say about Leon and Raihan's. Even though Go's cake is totally gone, she does say that if Grookey already enjoyed Alcremie's cream that much, it means that Alcremie and Go already have a good relationship. So, I mean, that's nice. As for Chloe, Opal says that the taste of the cake confirms that Chloe has a kind heart that truly values Pokemon, and that makes Chloe happy. And for the moment of truth, she tries Ash's cake, and she actually likes it. She likes it so much that out of nowhere, she challenges Ash to a battle. Alright. As Opal puts it, since it's her tournament, she is the rules. Wait, that doesn't make grammatical. Okay, let's just move on. The battle gets underway with Pikachu taking on Alcremie, and oh yeah, Ash is actually battling another Galar gym leader. Bingo! Yeah, that's right, this actually checks off a bingo tile. When I made this game, I didn't actually think that Ash would battle any of the Galar gym leaders besides B, and well, maybe Raihan, but I certainly didn't think he'd battle Opal randomly. Anyways, the battle rages on and everyone is all fired up, even Chloe, which is cool to see since this is the first time she's really seen Ash battle seriously, well, unless she watched his match against Volkner on TV, since the only other times she's seen Ash battle was always against Team Rocket or some other unimportant battle. Opal kicks the battle into high gear, choosing to Gigantamax her Alcremie, and things are looking pretty dire now. She calls for G-Max Finale, which totally overwhelms Pikachu, and just when the battle looks to be over, wait, what is happening to Pikachu now? Yeah, if there wasn't enough off-the-wall ridiculousness yet in this episode, Pikachu suddenly Gigantamaxing out of nowhere certainly added another twist that no one saw coming. Ash doesn't waste time and calls for G-Max Volt Crash, only for it to fail, as Leon explains that Pikachu didn't actually Gigantamax, it just ate the cream from the G-Max Finale, and, well, bloat maxed, as Leon puts it. With that, the battle ends, and the episode finishes with everyone enjoying the different cakes, and Ash reiterates his goal of winning his way up the ranks in order to battle Leon in the World Coronation Series, and we get a nice shot of everyone enjoying the cakes, and this really summed up how the day went for each of them. I'm giving this episode an 8.5 out of 10 rating. Yeah, I like the episode that much. Like I mentioned before, we did check off another bingo tile this week, and now I've got a few different contenders for a potential bingo, as that column will soon be down to only Ash defeating Leon. I mean, technically Ash did defeat Leon in the Alcremie Everywhere Decor tournament, but we're just gonna move on from that for now. As for this episode, I guess it's pretty subjective how much each of you enjoyed the humor in this one, but I absolutely loved it. This was the same vein as episode 47, the one with the eating contest. contest. I said that that episode may have been the best filler episode of all time, but this one gives it a run for its money. I loved the completely over-the-top ridiculousness. It was just non-stop hilarity for me this entire episode. I suppose calling it filler is also subjective as well. I mean, besides Go catching another Pokemon, I don't think anything from this episode will have any bearing on the series as a whole, but it was a nice way to build up a few different characters. Most notably, Raihan's personality was really explored more in this episode than any of his other previous appearances, and I think this was a good way of building up a potential Masters 8 opponent for Ash. At this point, my best guess for Ash's Master Class opponents are Bee and Raihan, and of course, he'll inevitably reach Leon in the finals. I think that part is a given. Another trainer that's going to be in the Master Class is Cynthia, but we won't have to wait until then to see her, since she's actually showing up next week. That's right, we go from having a champion time with Leon to having another champion time with Cynthia, and I honestly have no clue what's going on in the next episode. Apparently, there's a town that's stuck in some kind of eternal nighttime, and then there's something about a Cleffa becoming a star. I really have no clue what's happening, but Cynthia will be there, so that's something to get excited about. Let me know what you think will happen down in the comments below, as well as give me your take on this episode as well. Did you like it as much as I did, or did it just leave you asking yourself, wait, what's going on now? Over and over again. Be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.